My name is Maura White. I'm standing here in Sheriff Street, which is a place that I grew up in. I was born and raised here up until I got married, and then I moved on. I suppose at the time it was my community. It was, I knew people. To me, seemed a nice place to live. But as I was growing up and I began to see that actually things weren't that good. I felt safe in it, but nobody from the outside felt safe in it. I never see police presence. In fact, I was brought up to distrust the police. From the outside world, this community was a ghetto. It was just riddled with crime and antisocial behaviour, and people were no good, and that affects you.
When you grow up in an area like this, you're sort of so confined to your sort of inner bubble, I suppose, that you don't actually almost look outside of that. It's almost like a defence mechanism that if we stick together in this small area, we'll be safe, we'll be grand.
I suppose you don't really know any different until you turn like 14, 15, you start branching out, and I don't know, you have to kind of make a decision at that age if you're going to go down the same road as all your friends, because I suppose in the inner city I just think drugs is a bit just part of the culture now at this point.
One of the things that really helped shape me was I started on a CAN course 30 years ago, and I began to understand why things are the way they are.
One of the biggest issues we're talking about now is the whole thing around policing and policing in this area, and the relationship between guards and young people, because it's still not okay.
I'll start, and coincidentally Noel is here, so the dialogue started for me when Noel knocked at the door upstairs and came in, and he basically said there's a programme being developed in the NEIC and it's being led by CAN, Community Action Network, who's a fantastic organisation, and there's an opportunity then to build relationships up with them. So that process started, and I developed a relationship with a number of young people. But what it really done was, it allowed me to develop a relationship with the guards in the community that I didn't have previously. And that relationship has further developed, and it's also gave the young people a voice within the community to communicate with guards, to build relationships.
For many different reasons, there appears at times to be a disconnect between the guards and young people, which you could say is a relationship breakdown at times, and that's where we've worked with CAN for the last 4 years.
You have to know the limitations and what you're working with, and the expectation that guards would come into this community and stay here. We know that's not the case. We know they come and go. So what we have to try and do is the culture within, particularly the local Gardai stations, is begin to change their way of thinking.
They create what they call a container, where it's a safe place for you to say what you've experienced, the affect for you working in the area, and then also for children, for them to say what it's like for them to live in the area and some of their experiences that they've had with the guards. And so far it's been really successful.
Before that research, I would have thought that 99% of the relationships is negative. You know, what we actually found was there was positive interactions there, you know, and that was really good for us to understand that we're not starting from a place of complete and utter negativity.
The relationships now are very positive because of, I think, the dialogue processes in particular, because you learned how to listen to people, how to understand people, people learned how to listen to you, and with the methods we use, the dialogue methods, I think really helped that.
You know, I was really impressed by the fact that CAN is trying to address issues of social mobility, social exclusion, and social access and inequity. Yeah, addressing those sorts of issues and tackling those problems, improving relationships amongst the community and between the community and the Gardai, for instance, was something I thought was very beneficial. So it's admirable work, really admirable work, and I was keen to try and help.
We believe that CAN in particular were the social glue to bring that together.
You know, they're certainly not doing it for the money, it's definitely for the love. And you can be assured that any money you give will go a long way. You'll definitely get value for money for the contribution that you make.
Change isn't going to happen overnight. And I think in the last 7 years since we started working with the community activists and working with leaders within the organisations and in the communities, we've built up a trust and a way of working, and they're saying we want to be different. And what I want to see is other people coming into CAN to continue that change. So there's a legacy left there. And because we know it works for me, it's working for others that we're with, and we're beginning to open up other people's eyes who are coming in from the outside in. It's opening up their eyes to say, you can be different, but you need the people within the community at the centre of it.